We are live. This is the NBA rundown. Let me switch the brand here. We're talking touchdowns. We might do that a little bit too, right, Tyler? But this is the NBA rundown. I'm your host, Brett Astaire, joined as always by Tyler Hicks. The channel is Nuke the House. Tyler, we haven't spoken officially on the air since last Monday. A lot has happened since then. Give me your general overview of the NBA playoffs. Where do we even start with all the fun stuff that's happened?
I mean, the Cleveland Magic series just kind of stayed with all the home teams picking up the wins. Minnesota-Denver got off to a bang to start. I didn't think Minnesota would be able to get game one, and they were able to steal that game. That was impressive. The Knicks were able to gut out that series against the Sixers. In the end, they were probably the better team. Brunson was the best player in that series, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Now they get I think, an easy matchup against the Pacers. And I mean, that other Western Conference series is going to be interesting, Dallas and OKC, because I'm not sure where I land on that side yet.
Yeah. So let's talk about all these. Boy, so close to sweeping our series bets from the first round, Tyler. We went 2-1, and unfortunately our plus 170 didn't make it. And you were able to get a money hedge. What hedge did you get yesterday on that game?
I got like plus 4. There was a boost on FanDuel, it was like 30%. I think they were like
4. I was wondering how you got plus 600.
They were like 450 when they were down, like 15 in the first or second quarter.
Yeah.
But I just put the 30% boost on it. Got it like
I should have hedged. I was out and about, and I'll be honest, I wasn't really that interested in that game. Now, correct me, I could be wrong here. I'd love to know what you think. Didn't it feel like they're going to be a sacrificial lamb? Do you feel like Cleveland's got a shot against Boston? Maybe I'm overvaluing Boston a bit. What do you think?
No, I don't think they got a shot. I mean, Jared Allen's banged up, even with no Porzingis on the other side. Cleveland had not a lot of troubles, but they really couldn't shoot from the perimeter in that series against Orlando. I know Orlando's defense is a little better than Boston's, but Boston's going to light them up from three. And if Cleveland can't keep up, they're kind of screwed. Like Boston should... Their three-point shooting alone should be able to get them through the Eastern Conference. If it doesn't, it's because the Knicks got red hot in the Eastern Conference Finals and were able to play lockdown defense, because I'm not sure how any team in the East beats them outside of that.
Yeah, and of course, the Knicks are going to take on the Pacers, and we'll get into that one tonight. In fact, why don't we just, unless there's any general thoughts, you want to just switch to that one right now, because that's our first game up for tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of some other stuff. Any ideas for Orlando in the offseason? I mean, it's not the worst offseason to have. Like, do you think they should make a move for a superstar? I think they should look into Devin Booker.
I mean, I don't think they'll trade Booker. Do you?
If you're Phoenix and you got to get a haul back for a guy, that's going to get your best haul back. And if you could say get Franz, Cole Anthony, and a load of picks, and maybe one other player, like, that's not the worst to get back for Devin Booker. Pair him with Paulo and them other pieces. Him, Paulo, and Suggs would be a nice core. I'll say that.
I think that the owner in Phoenix doesn't realize like how fucked they are, and I think he's going to run it back, just like the Clippers, right? I mean, like,
no, I could definitely see that too, but I think that's a potential like fix it real quick trade.
Also, I just don't think. I think Phoenix is going to try and run this shit back, and I think the exact same shit's going to happen. And I think that. Okay, so we want to talk about some offseason stuff before we dive into tonight. That's fine. First of all, let's go to. I don't think Phoenix is going to happen, but I agree with you. That'd be great if it did happen. Let's talk about the Clippers, Tyler. Are they going to let Paul George go?
They said he's declined multiple.
Because they don't want to give him the max, and they shouldn't, dude. He averaged 19 points a game, and he's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
He's like, what, 34, 35 years old?
Do you want to give a guy $200 million in his 15th year? Think about that.
No. Whoever signs him, it's going to be a joke. The only way you would sign him is if you're hella close.
Philly.
And the teams that are hella close don't have cap space.
It'll be Philly. Philly will go get him.
Yes. Wow. Okay. I think the Clippers are screwed. They should trade everyone as well. I mean, it's kind of cool being a Kings fan, watching these Pacific Division teams just wallow in just oldness. The Suns are way too old building around KD, and the Clippers are way too old building on Kawhi Leonard and PG. I wonder if they had to redo if they'd even give Kawhi that extension now.
I don't think they would.
I think that they realize like how screwed this whole core is. Harden's gonna walk, but at this point, I mean, like, is he really a game changer?
No, he's not really a game changer, I don't think.
I mean, where could he go that would make them a championship team, right? Like all the teams that are in championship contention right now, I don't think Harden helps them.
No, the other three guys are staying put. The only guy that's moving is Paul George. Westbrook.
Well, Harden's a free agent too, and I don't think LA wants to bring him back. Do you?
They'll bring him back.
That'd be so dumb. That team's old. That team is old. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler, Tyler. Did you hear Pat Riley today?
Yeah, but I don't think that's much of anything. He already said he's not getting traded, and then he did the quote. So I mean, I feel like that's just how they treat each other down there. That's the Heat culture for you.
He's another one. I wouldn't extend him either.
He's old and he's relies on a lot of just like bully ball, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I think that's somewhere where we can continue to make money, as a lot of people are overvaluing these old names, and they're just not that good.
I'm telling you, spread this. If the Magic are smart, they call the Suns and build a package around Franz and Anthony Black for Devin Booker, because it works all cap wise.
I think you're overestimating the intelligence of that Suns owner.
But it's not the Suns owner; it's the Orlando owner calling James Jones and being like,
"Yeah, but I don't think Ishiba or whatever his name is going to allow that."
I mean, it's just one of those things where you kind of get the conversation going. Like, they gain $34 million in cap space that they don't have any cap space anyway. They get two young pieces that they can build. Anthony Black's a rookie, so they have all the years on him. They could extend Franz if they want to. So, and he's going to be a lot cheaper. And that's a piece to have around KD.
Yeah. I think if they do trade someone, they'll trade KD.
I trade them both.
At this point, I don't know what KD does. I don't know. I think, okay, of all these old guys, I think KD helps a winner the most. Of all these over 33, 34 guys, I think he'll help you more than Harden, Kawhi, PG, Butler. I think KD's probably the best one. But
they could also get back one of their first-round picks that the Magic own from Phoenix if they do go into full rebuild mode in 2026.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to run it back with that same flawed core.
I mean, I could see it too, but potential that I think that trade could be a talk about point or one that pops up.
All right.
Guys get moved in this league every offseason.
Yeah, and I always think guys are untradeable. Like, I was like, nobody would trade for that Bradley Beal contract, and then here we are. So, to be fair, I was kind of right. It was pretty stupid to trade for that Bradley Beal contract. That was probably like the final nail in that team's coffin. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, like they buried themselves. What could the Lakers move to get PG there? Just a little swap of jersey in that town. And just dump all the D'Los, Ruiz, and Austin Reeves.
He has a player option.
Yeah, he could just walk, but it'll be a sign.
He could just walk. They would have to get rid of salary though, right? I don't know exactly how that works. They've changed all the rules on that.
It would just be sign and trade. Like, that's how all these guys do it anymore. Like, it's like, I'm going here. Like, even if it's like, oh, well, we're just going to sign and trade you for the cap piece to get you out of here. Like, they don't.
As the Lakers hater, I would love that. So, all right. Well, you want to dive into these series that are upcoming?
Yeah, we could dive into them. I was just looking at some other spots maybe Paul George could land, but I don't really see much. I mean, just one spot that could be off the radar that no one's talking about. What would Memphis have to get up to get him?
I mean, potentially nothing. He could just sign.
Yeah, but it's just they don't have the cap space. So it's like it's going to be a sign and trade. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Is the likes of Brandon Clark sending Kennard back and Marcus Smart?
The Clippers would want much back.
It's not wanting stuff back. It's to clear the cap.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I think that they would just be like, whatever works, I think the Clippers are pretty much over him.
I think the Grizzlies could be a spot for PG.
Grizzlies are interesting, man. Like, they were so good like 2 years ago, and we kind of forgot.
Think about how he fits there when they're healthy. It'd be Ja, Bane, PG, Jaren Jackson, sign a big.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good spot.
And if you could retain a lot of the bench pieces like Marcus Smart in them, you could have a very deep roster right off the bat. Or you just start Jaren Jackson at the center and start Brandon Clark at the 4.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
So there's different ways that this team can go. They got a lot of pieces.
Yeah, I think it's just funny that there's just 2 teams in the Pacific Division that are just toast now as far as being actual contenders. I don't think there's any path for the Suns and the Clippers to contend in the next 2 years.
No.
That Kawhi extension is just so screwy. I mean, the guy never finishes the playoffs. Like, what's the point of having him?
They're just a team that's going to have all the old guys that are the big names. Like,
yeah. And KD's only going to get worse.
When Beal finally gets moved, he will be moved to be a Clipper.
Beal. What a joke. What an absolute joke. All right. I guess we'll start with this one, Tyler, but we're going to go into doing these games on the spread and the total. Chris wants to know, can it be as easy as the Knicks Nuggets moneyline parlay tonight? What do you think, Tyler? That's an interesting way to start today's conversation.
I mean, it's like an even money bet. You can get it at plus odds on certain books. I don't hate it.
Yeah, let me see what that would be for me. Obviously, with Rudy out, this has changed.
He's not guaranteed out.
He's out. Yeah, I get plus 101.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that bet at all.
Yeah.
I just don't see Denver going down 2-0, but we'll get into that game. Minnesota's not an easy, like, they can't just lay an egg and just think they're going to wake up in the fourth quarter like they did against the Lakers in all those games. Like, this isn't the same animal.
I love them tonight before the Rudy news as far as Denver. But let's start on the Knicks game. They're minus 5.5 against the Pacers. The total is 217.5. Kind of like the Knicks here, Tyler. I mean, that team that Indiana beat isn't a playoff team.
No, I don't think it's a play-in team.
If that team ran like 82 games or whatever, like, what are they? They were like, they're not even as good as Chicago Bulls.
And I don't even count that last game where Dame just hobbled out there and tried to play. So it's like he gave it a shot, like, respect to him, but it's like he was a shell of himself, so he didn't really count as the elite player we thought he was, or the elite player we saw in games 1 and 2 when they played.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. The Pacers, they lucked out in the first round, not seeing Giannis at all, and Dame just being hobbled most of the series. They've yet to play the Knicks with Mitchell Robinson this year or OG and Anunoby spread, so there's a lot of defense coming their way that they haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks just, they get an easier matchup on the defensive end compared to what they just dealt with in Philly. Like, I think DiVincenzo lights them up from 3 as props 3.5. It's plus money. I don't hate betting that up to 5 at like 3-1. I think they just light them up tonight. They just take care of them. Indiana's, they're not going to like playing in this atmosphere that this Garden's going to be tonight either.
Do we want to play the Knicks at 5.5?
I mean, I like the money line parlay. That's not a bad way to just do it.
You want to just do it that way?
And then, because I think the Knicks win, and I'm fully confident that I could just, go hedge Minnesota at some point in that game if I had to.
That's a good point. Total's 217.5 in the Pacers Knicks. What are you thinking?
I'm not touching the total in here because if the Pacers just get out and running and the Knicks decide to run with them and the Knicks are just getting free buckets, then the score could balloon. But if the Knicks are slowing the game down and just pressuring them on the defensive end, then I could see it going under. So I have no take on the total.
Bro, I almost didn't do today's show after losing that total yesterday. Can you believe that game went over? It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, 195 was really low, though.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I guess. All right. So neither of us really like the total. Total's gone under in 13 of Indiana's last 18 on the road against New York. However, they've gone over in 9 of their last 11 games. Indiana also 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 road games. Total's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games, but most of those were in Indiana. Let me see, what else do I got for us here?
Seeing if I see any other.
So Indiana did win 2 of the 3 regular season matchups.
But just like with that, this is just like the other show spread. I do not care about regular season. This is the playoffs. I don't give a damn. Like they didn't. OG Anunoby and Mitch Robinson didn't play in any regular season matchups against the Pacers.
Okay, fair enough.
The Pacers could have beat the Knicks by 1,000 in every regular season game, and I wouldn't give a shit.
All right, I know you don't care about the regular seasons, but you know when they 2 teams played in the regular season, the total was 237, and now it's 217.
When's the date on that? Because we've seen times in the NBA season this year where it fluctuated, where totals were sitting.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point. How did I lose my camera? All right.
That's why I just don't take any regular season stuff into account. There's just too much stuff that happens in the regular season. Half the guys don't even try. Like now, this is when they're actually trying. The coaches are implementing better schemes. This is when they actually try. So,
okay. The rest is even. Both their games, the last games were on May 2nd. Today's May 6th. These teams should be plenty rested here. Coaching advantage. Who do you think is a better coach? Who would you rather have as a coach?
Probably Tibbs. That's my opinion. I mean, Rick Carlisle's a good coach too, but I trust Tibbs and his defense a little bit more. And the coaching in this one, I think, is pretty even, but I think Tibbs is a slight edge. But just the roster construction, I think, is just all New York. Like, where are the Pacers going to get their buckets from, Spread? Like, you could put OG on Halliburton. That could just cut the head off the snake right there. Now, Pascal's matched up with these bigs that the Knicks have. Or you put OG on Pascal, and you let Josh Hart chase around Halliburton. They have other defenders. Mitch Robinson and Hartenstein are going to be in the paint. They have guys that could step out on Turner. And I could see Brunson just feasting here. So, I mean, they're not as physical as what Philly was. Brunson just to be able to eat in the paint. OG's going to get buckets. Dante's going to hit from 3. I see everything on the.
What do you have for Brunson props? I think that's a huge matchup. After dealing with, I know Turner's pretty good, but he's not what he used to be as far as rim protection.
And
Siakam's good, but he's not.
He just had a very good series because he was playing the Bucks that love to play drop coverage, and he was matched up with Brook Lopez, who doesn't want to step out. So I'm pulling up his stats now. He put up good numbers in that series, and he's not going to get those same looks in this series.
Yeah, I agree with you. But where I was going with this is the same thing as what Jerry Stacks is saying. He's on Brunson point props, and I'm kind of thinking the same. And my idea is, I know Joel Embiid was hobbled, but I still like him better as a rim protector than both Turner and Siakam. And if either of those guys go to the bench, it's just going to be a free path to the basket. After that physical series, I think this is a matchup made in heaven for Brunson. I think he's going to look great because I don't think he's going to get stopped on the perimeter, and I don't think he's going to get as much resistance in the paint. It just seems like a great matchup here for Jalen Brunson. And you talked about him being on the best player on the floor against last year's MVP candidate, who was, of course, hobbled because, I mean, him and Kawhi should just start a rehab clinic together. But if he was that good against Philly, who I have a lot of respect for and great coach, I think he's going to look even better here tonight. I like Brunson a lot as far as the props go.
You want to bet a 36.5?
What's the number?
36.5. -1.
At -110?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
He's gonna.
No fucking way.
His props are just inflated because he's gonna shoot the ball 35 times tonight. Like the offense just flows. Every play flows through him. Unless he's on the bench.
They don't want you to take over on my bookmaker, Tyler. They've set it at 34.5 minus 164.
Like, what's his points plus assists? Is it in the 50s?
It has to. No, maybe
45.5. His PRA is 49.5. I don't hate taking a shot on some unders there, just because there's other matchups on the floor that they're going to be able to exploit. Like, he's got a great one, but what if they all of a sudden boat race out to a 25-point lead?
Which game do you think is more potential for a blowout tonight, Tyler? This Knicks game or this Denver game?
The Knicks game. I think the Denver game. I think that whole series just stays close. You're never going to see those games blow out.
Okay. All right. Boy, so did we land on anything official here? So obviously I'm not going to be able to talk you into the over, right?
I'm not betting the total in this game.
Okay. I love Indiana overs. Brunson, I feel that the books appropriately priced us out of that. 36.5 in a game with a total of 217.
You could bet a 50+ points on him at 870. I'd rather bet that than bet the 36.5.
Yeah, just throw fucking shit at the wall.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just say, the proverbial $100. Would you lay the 5.5?
Yeah.
I think that one might be official here. I think this is going to be a reckoning for the Pacers. I mean, you beat. It's the same as beating the Atlanta Hawks, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's just not an impressive first round win.
I do agree. I think this one can get ugly. Like some performance doubles on FanDuel too. Like DiVincenzo 15+ points and they win plus 130. OG Anunoby 2 steals and they win plus 170. Brunson double and they win 2-1. DiVincenzo 4 threes and they win 2-1. Hart 14 rebounds and they win plus 210. Anunoby 20 points and they win plus 275. Hart 2 steals and they win 3-1.
All right. So Tyler likes the Knicks. I like the minus 5.5. I lean towards the over. Tyler's saying no. So that's not going to be an official.
I just don't see why.
I guess I'll tweet it out if I play it. To me, that's over or pass. I wouldn't play under in that. I just think it's too low for a Pacers.
I'd just rather pass. Like, I just don't see a read on totals right now.
And I'm fine with you on there. I think we've done a good job being selective since these playoffs started. I was going to come on here and tout how selective I've been and tout that I hit the under yesterday, and I can't believe I fucking didn't. Are you ready to move on to Minnesota and Denver?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So just we're capping this game as if Rudy's going to sit. Okay. Let's go ahead and I know you think he's probable. I just don't think he's going to play. Jamal Murray also not 100%. Normally though, and this is, game 3 trends, another fun trend is to lay it with the home team in game 2 after they lose game 1 straight up. So I don't have the exact numbers on that. I'm just going, just like I didn't have the exact numbers on bet the game 3 teams that are down 2-0, but we just know from betting NBA for so many years that that's good. Do you think that applies here, Tyler? Because I don't know. I really don't know.
I wouldn't lay 6.5. I think they win, but I wouldn't lay it.
Really? That's so funny. I feel like if they win, they cover.
I don't think these games blow out. Like, could they cover the 6.5? Yes, but I would much rather just parlay them with the team I think could win in a blowout and get a minus 105 ticket than maybe be in a dogfight in the fourth quarter where the game isn't going to get out to 7 and you lose anyway and Denver wins. So I'm not betting the 6.5. I just don't see Denver heading back to Minnesota down 2-0 because then there's a very, very good chance you're coming back to Denver down 3-1. I don't think they're getting put out of here in that fashion. If they do, they're a lot worse than I thought they were this year. I mean, their bench spread, the more you look at it, like Christian Braun, Peyton Watson's a good athletic energy guy, but like there's no production coming off the bench whatsoever.
Yeah, you got a great point there. Talk about props real quick, Tyler. I'm going to be right back.
They lost that game, 106-99. They had about 8 bench points, and Naz Reid had 17 himself off the Minnesota bench. So there's your deciding factor in why they won that game. I know there's other reasons too. Cat was able to pick it up in the second half. But with no Rudy, Jokic should be able to do his thing. It's if he gets the other two guys in foul trouble too. If they get in foul trouble, then it's going to be night for those guys because they have no other bigs other than Luka Garza, and he can't play in the playoffs. So I'm sticking to that money line parlay. Let's see what we got for props here. I see Rudy props listed. He could maybe a chance he plays. What is Porter's rebounds though? That could be a way we could get in on this. We could go Michael Porter 7.5 at plus 112 on his rebounds. I don't hate that. You back under control over there?
Yeah, I had to. Bro, I'm so old. I gotta use the bathroom like every 20 minutes. How did you flip us?
Because you flipped us before.
But how did you just do that right there?
Grab the screen.
I didn't know you were able to do that. Okay. Are we done with tonight's games? Let's just do tomorrow's right now because I'm not going to be able to do a show tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
All right, let's talk through tomorrow.
Lay it. Don't even think about it. Team's coming off.
I don't think Rudy's going to play, Ryan. His wife is pretty close to giving.
He already gave birth.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, all his props are listed. Do not count on him being out. I will say that. Or you're going to be stomping around at work tonight when you're going.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, you're going to
We
stomp
should
around.
wait until he's ruled in and then parlay it.
I mean, you could do that.
That'll drop us back down to 5.5. He's worth a point, right?
Yeah. And you could wait if you want.
No, I already placed it. You were just so compelling, Tyler. How could I not listen to you? Okay. That being said, I didn't think Rudy was going to play. Tyler thinks there's a possibility, so we're not sure, Ryan.
All his props are listed, and she already gave birth.
But if he was there with her, is he going to be able to fly him? I guess that's
maybe he just missed shoot around this morning to be at the hospital and can jump on a jet and get there. Minnesota to Denver's not that far.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay. Oklahoma City. No, we're gonna do Boston Celtics, right?
Just lay it. I don't even think we got to talk about it.
Why?
What's there to talk about? Cleveland's coming off a 7-game series. We know how to. It's always fade the teams coming off a 7-game series in game one of the next series. They got one day of rest. Boston's going to light them up from 3, and it looks like their only scoring option as of late has been Donovan Mitchell. Jared Allen doesn't play in this game probably either. He's still banged up. They could attack Mobley because the Magic did exploit that, and they showed that if you pull him out to the perimeter, he's not the defender we thought he was. So there was a thing that they showed in that last series. I think Boston just wins this game by like 30 in game one. Like, it's just
If Boston wins by 30 in game one, I'm going to hammer Cleveland in game two because there's no team that handles success worse than the Boston Celtics.
I agree, but if Boston doesn't sweep, they win the game in 5. They win that series in 5.
Yeah, but I think they lose game 2.
I'm not sure.
In the playoffs, they're better on the road as far as just winning straight up than they are at home.
Yeah. But I mean,
their road record's immaculate, and their home record just sucks.
Like regular season means nothing to me here, spread. But
I'm talking about in the playoffs.
I know, but I'm just saying that I was just going to bring up a couple regular season things for here. It doesn't really matter to me, but the Boston, we know they took nights off in the regular season. The only game the Cavs were able to steal from them in the regular season, they played 4 times, was the one Dean Wade hit all those threes in the fourth quarter. So, I mean.
Didn't they come back from a crazy?
Yeah, they were down like 20 in that game going into the fourth, and Dean Wade saved their life. So, yeah. I just don't see that.
Did we bet Boston in that game? Because you're bringing up bad memories.
Yeah, they were -7. They lost the game outright.
And we thought we had a winner, right? Because they're up by 20 going in the fourth.
Yep.
I still can't believe I didn't hit the under yesterday in that Magic game.
What's Boston -2.5, and the Knicks parlay to win that series -112.
What if we just play that game early? The Boston game.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't see it going anywhere from 11.5.
Okay, so I'm with you on late, I guess. Yeah, I'm with you. But I think let's just say I only have one bet I can make on that game. I think I'd rather play the first half. I mean, this team has been coming out strong.
I mean, if you want to go that route, but I think they.
What's your first half number? I'm sure it's shaded.
I think they would
7 to an 11, which so 11 and a half. It should be 6.5. I guess that's not that bad. It should be 6 or 6.5, I guess. So first half is -7 there. I kind of like a first half under in that Boston game as well, sitting at 107.
I'm over here dying, and spread just caring about the first half.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Just keep going.
No, tell me.
I was over here choking, coughing. You're just like first half this, first half that.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I thought you meant something about that. Okay. I'm sorry. Tyler, are you okay?
I'm all right now. I saved myself
about more first half.
You could keep going into the first half, whatever you were doing.
All right. I like the Celtics -7. I like the under 7.5. Let's talk about what I think is the most interesting series on the board right now, Tyler, and that's the Oklahoma City playing the Dallas Mavericks, Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I know you don't care about regular season, which is going to make me think that you're going to like Dallas Mavericks in this series. Am I right?
I don't know. Luka's banged up. There's the matchup between Dort and Kyrie is going to be a fun one to watch. And Chet could just be the ultimate mismatch for Dallas.
You think so?
You're going to put Gafford on him, and he's going to drag Gafford out. He's going to do what he did to Jova. He's just going to shoot a bunch of threes. And if you put Lively on the floor, I think
both Lively and Gafford are much more athletic and able to move out.
I don't think Gafford could get out there, though. Like, he could get out there, but I don't think he could, like, stay out there. Like, Chet could put the ball on the ground and get around him and get to the hoop, too. So he's going to be the ultimate mismatch. He'll be the X factor in this series, in my opinion. But if Luka's banged up, too, I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. He's not hitting those step backs the same.
No.
How bad is that injury?
They're not going to say exactly how bad it is, but I believe it's.
In your opinion, I guess I'd be asking you.
I mean, let's see what he's done in the 5 games.
I can't look on RotoWire for tomorrow because I don't pay for it, huh? Let me go to Basketball Monster. I've been there for a while since I found out about RotoWire. Let me see if it's still even in my deal. Basketball Monster.
He shot 9.
He only shot 40% in that last series. He wasn't that good. All right, so let's see. It's a right knee sprain. So yeah, that's not right. It's not something you get over quickly.
No, it's
like if it was an ankle or an elbow, I'd be a little more optimistic. Boy, I think that's where having Kyrie Irving really helps so much for that team because he can carry them on offense.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you definitely like the Celtics tomorrow. If you were to, it doesn't sound like we're going to get there on a play. We're probably not going to get there on a play for this Thunder game, right?
I mean, if I'd play it, I'd probably play the Thunder. Just play the mismatch for game one.
I was a little disappointed when the series. I thought this was going to be closer to the lines that we're seeing tonight, and I was going to be really interested in Dallas at 5.5 or 6.5, but 3.5. Boy, for how good the Thunder were this season, I know you say that regular season doesn't matter, but even against the Pelicans team that we have a lot of respect for, they looked really good. 3.5 seems short to me.
Yeah, I mean, it could be short, but again, we got to just see how it plays out. Playoffs are different than the regular season.
Yeah. I think that's the proverbial one that we would probably, if we had to bet 3 of these 4 games that we're talking about and leave one out, would you leave this one out?
If I had to play the spreads, no, I'm leaving out the Denver Minnesota game.
Really? I think I'm more comfortable playing Denver than. Well, I guess not. -3.5 is too low, Tyler. Fuck, and I like Dallas too.
I'm not rushing to bet a spread out. If I think the spread's too low, it's this game. All these playoff games have been a game of runs. I'll just wait and bet it live.
Yeah, that's fine. But we're talking about this right now for people who might not be able to bet it live.
Yeah,
and
but
I would lay the 3.5.
You're gonna talk yourself into betting this 3.5 right now. I could see it from a mile away.
No, you know what I'd really talk myself into that you would absolutely hate, right? In that game?
You're gonna bet a total.
Over.
Keep betting totals and keep sending me totaling messages at the end of the night. Just leave them alone.
So here's the I already know what you're going to say, but I'm going to say it anyways for the people listening. This isn't for you, Tyler. This is just for everyone listening. We're at 217 or 215, and they went 221, 245, 257, and 246 when they played this year.
You want my 3 words on that?
Yes, please.
I don't care. It's a regular season. Like, you just told me the Knicks and the Pacers went to like 285 points. They're holding a 217 for a reason spread.
Fuck, I want to bet these overs, bro.
They're baiting you in.
All right. Anything else that we want to discuss here for the NBA?
I see our guy Kegs in the chat. There's one play that we talked about during his NASCAR show yesterday. I don't hate that matchup of Minnesota to beat Boston in the finals is still like what 12-1, I believe. Or was that at?
Boston to beat Minnesota?
Or Minnesota to beat Boston. I had that backwards. Yeah, Minnesota to beat Boston still 10-1 on FanDuel. So I don't hate that as an exact result in the finals.
Do you like the way that Minnesota would match up with Boston?
Yes.
Why?
You tell me they don't just do what they're doing to Denver and what they just did to the Suns to Boston, and Boston has no bigs.
Boston's so much better defensively though than the Suns. I mean, it's like,
what are they defending though? Like you're telling me a corpse of Drew Holiday, bald Derek
he's not a corpse anymore. He's still one of the best players in the league.
I mean, I watched Jimmy Butler maul that man last year.
Jimmy Butler mauls everybody.
Okay, Ant ain't doing that to him.
I don't think they will put Drew on Ant. Do you?
Okay, so who's getting cooked by Ant? Which one's getting it?
Jalen.
Okay, and eventually he's gonna get.
Ant's gonna cook no matter who you put on him, right? So why waste one of your best defenders on him?
But here's the other thing on the other side too is Ant's gonna probably guard Jaylen Brown and slow all that down, and McDaniels is gonna put Tatum in a straitjacket. And
Tatum's a good tough shot maker though. He's gonna have some good nights.
So's Devin Booker, and he was in hell for a series.
Good point. Good point. Because if we're only taking in tough shot making, I almost see like Booker more than
rebounds in that. Boston gets no rebounds in that series. Minnesota gets a shit ton of more offensive rebounds and second chance shots. They are the way more physical team, and Boston's soft. Minnesota wins that series. This is the final.
You're making a compelling argument here, Tyler.
The finals is 10 p.m. tonight, Fred. Game 2 of the finals is 10 p.m. tonight.
Bro, you're coming with heat today.
I
like it. You're not sitting on the sideline. You're calling your freaking shots. You might not be betting these games against the spread.
You're telling me Boston is going to win the finals, and they're like even money when their big men could possibly be Al Horford versus Jokic or Al Horford versus Gobert and Cat. No.
You're not hype off Luke Cornett?
No. It's not happening. Like, I know Cat gets a lot of shit too. He does act goofy, and sometimes he just looks like a deer in the headlights out there. But when that dude locks in and plays spread, there ain't a matchup in the league for him. Who got a matchup for a 7-footer that could dribble?
Well, here's the deal.
Off the dribble, could take you to the hoop off the dribble, could pass. Like, he is the.
Here's the deal with Cat, dude. He's fantastic now that he's my number 2, and he's my clear number 2.
Is he best number?
And he can just rack up stats in the first 3 quarters. But I got Ant with the game on the line because I don't want Cat with the game on the line.
No,
he's gonna do something stupid. He's not gonna use his size.
I don't
Ant
want
gets to
him.
the
I don't
rim with
want
the
him
game
with
on
the
the line.
ball in his hands with the game on the line. But if somebody is to pass it to him and he is standing corner 3,
Yeah.
I love that spot because he will make that shot.
Just like Kyrie, like I don't want him as a number 1, but he's like such an elite number 2.
Yeah. But the difference is Kyrie kind of gets handed the ball at the end of the game and says, "Go win."
Yeah, the difference is I do like Kyrie at the end of the game, which is why he's an elite number 2 and Cat's just a good number 2.
Yeah.
But I still think that this is like a great role for him. Just rack up all those stats in the first 3 quarters and then let Ant take over. Timberwolves game just went off my board, Tyler.
I think Boston's only path to winning the finals is pray to God OKC's waiting for you.
Oh, they'll crush OKC.
That is your pathway to.
I don't know. I don't even know if OKC gets out of this round.
I don't know either, but that is their only chance of victory.
If we didn't have any questions around Luka, I would already be betting Dallas to win the series. Do you have a series price for Dallas? What's yours?
Plus 130, I believe.
I only got plus 102.
Oh no, plus 106, minus 130 OKC.
Really? I only have minus 118. You're getting ripped off there. That's terrible. What's the word for that? Handle or that's terrible. Mine is only.
I mean, it's not a line I'm going to bet, so I can give a damn less.
Cavaliers are plus 1041 to beat the Celtics.
Yeah, Boston's minus 3,000 on FanDuel.
Really? I only got minus 1,800. That's pretty cool. What about under 5.5 in that series is minus 240, minus 220.
Mine's minus 210.
Wow. I was going to say, I think Boston wins in 5. I wonder if do you have an exact on that? Like Boston in 5?
Yeah, Boston series exact game. I mean, you could just series total exact.
I'm about to bet that, dude. I got plus 171. What do you have?
5 games is plus 160.
Just for the series to be 5 games?
Yeah.
Bro, this is crazy.
Boston 4-1 is plus 170. Boston 4-0 is plus 140.
Check this out. So just for the series to be 5 games on Bookmaker, plus 169. Do you want an extra 2 cents? Celtics 4-1 plus 171.
That's great. I don't hate doing the Knicks parlayed with Boston 4-1 and the Knicks parlayed with Boston 4-0. You're getting like plus 260 on both sides. I think the Knicks
say that one more time. I missed it.
Do the Knicks parlayed with the Boston 4-1. It gets you to plus 260. And then do the same exact Knicks to win the series parlayed with Boston 4-0 and get a plus 220. I don't see the Cavs winning 2 games, but I also don't want to screw myself and watch Boston sweep them, so I want both tickets.
That's fair. Knicks 4-1 for me is plus 312.
I wouldn't go trying to pick the Knicks series though, because I think they win the series in the end. They could just dismantle them quickly, but I could see Indiana stealing 1 or 2 games.
I can see them stealing 1. I like that 4-1 a lot. Overall, Tyler, I'm not as excited for this second round of playoffs as I thought I would be.
I mean, there's only one good series.
Yeah, I really think the Knicks and the Pacers.
There's 2 good series.
I mean, the Knicks and the Celtics are going to just. I don't think it's even going to be close.
Yeah. The 2 good series are in the West.
Yeah. I guess that's the way to look at it, right? And the West series are fantastic.
It's almost like the West dominated the league all year.
Almost. And we're also dominating rap battles. Have you been listening to that shit?
No, I don't listen to those.
Oh, bro, I caught up on it last night. Kendrick, it's not even close. It was like, I was telling my buddies, it's like a Warriors third quarter. Like, it was pretty close. And then Kendrick just...
Is it really rap beef spread when 2 R&B artists are just screaming at each other from across the room?
Kendrick's rapping.
Is anyone dying?
Yeah, well, that's how...
it's not rap beef then. It's not...
Yeah, see, you listen to all those Memphis guys.
I mean, the old school rap beef, East Coast, West Coast, people were dying.
Yeah, and same with all your Memphis rap beefs that you love so much. All right, Tyler, let's give out an official plays for everybody. And then we're going to go do some football drafting, huh?
Yep.
So, all right. What is your official plays for tonight? Do we want to make this parlay the official one?
Just bet that money line parlay. Worst case scenario, I think we're hedging with that Minnesota game. If you'll want to wait till Rudy gets rolled in, because I think he's going to play, you can get a little better of a number on that parlay. I don't hate that. I like DiVincenzo's threes all the way up to 5. I think he has a great night from 3. Outside of that, I think it's just wait. Maybe if you want to play that Knicks parlayed with the Boston series and put those tickets in your pockets, I don't hate that either.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Don P says, do I like the Knicks center? I mean, I assume you're talking about Hartenstein over 2.5 assists. I don't hate it, but I think Tyler gave you much better ones.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I could say that I didn't when I went to my list of props and when I went through my props, my center assist props were not on that list. So
yeah. I don't like betting this.
I don't think it's a terrible idea to bet that prop. He could be onto something, but I didn't cap it. I'll say that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this much: assist props for me are my least favorite because
and I don't even have that prop listed for me on FanDuel.
Yeah. All right. So our official play for the show is to take the Nuggets and the Knicks money line. You get like plus 101. Now, this is a spread Astaire bonus pick that Tyler does not endorse. Give me over 217 in the Pacers and the Knicks and over 218 in the Mavericks and the Thunder. Tyler absolutely hates that play, but I added those on my own, but those are not going to go on our spread and Tyler record. This is just my personal plays. So there you guys have it. The earliest we'll be back is Thursday. Tyler, do you want to know why I'm not doing a show on Wednesday?
Why's that?
Bro, I turned 48 that day.
Oh, you're getting old, spread.
Bro, can you believe I look like this at age 48?
You're about to I was looking for a joke I could have made about like a senior citizen thing, but couldn't think of one.
Oh, I can't believe I'm so old. It's like I almost stopped saving money because I'm like, I'm gonna die soon. What's the point of having all this money in the bank?
I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, I don't have any kids to inherit it. All right. So our official plays for tonight, 2-team parlay, Knicks and Nuggets, and then depending on how this goes, we'll potentially do one on Thursday, huh?
Yep.
We'll do one Thursday or Friday to catch up for the weekend. So there you have it for us. If you, like I said, you want to have some fun, bet those overs as well. And we'll be back Thursday. Nuke the house.